At first glance, you wouldn't think anything was special about Heidi Korse. She is a runner, a mother, a wife, and a teacher. What's unusual is that she does all this despite being profoundly deaf. While Heidi was born hearing like her daughter Emma, she lost her hearing at age 5 due to spinal meningitis. While she could still vocalize, the everyday sounds and conversations that filled her life were gone.
I remember my elementary school was really big and I missed so much information. For example, I didn't understand my homework or my work, how to do it. And I missed so much when the teacher was explaining. She would give directions and I missed so much in school, so when I brought it home, I would tell my parents, I don't really know what to do. And he would sit down with me and help, but also teach me. And I always wanted to work harder than my hearing peers. I had to work harder because I missed so much in school. I didn't have an interpreter. They didn't write down directions. From 4th grade on, I did have a teacher of the deaf, which was nice, but it really wasn't enough. I needed more support. So I'm really thankful for my parents and them helping me. And at that time, I didn't really identify as deaf. I didn't know sign. I'd never really met a lot of deaf people. I wasn't submerged in the world. I was struggling in the hearing world.
As the only deaf child in her school, Heidi depended on lip reading to understand what people were saying.
Lip reading is hard. Only 30 to 40% of the information is visible on lips, because not everyone moves their lips the same way. Some people don't have a lot of lip movement. Other people are really clear and easy. Someone eating, chewing gum, having facial hair makes it even harder.
Can you read my lips?
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 It wasn't until she went to college that Heidi started learning American Sign Language and got to know other deaf people.
When I got older and I started learning sign, meeting other deaf people, I felt like I fit in. Right away, I found a new sense of belonging and more comfort in my life. I didn't have to work so hard to fit in. Growing up deaf in a hearing world and having to go through so much to learn, I always kind of knew that I wanted to be a teacher. Once a week, I go to the University of Oregon and I teach a class there through sign language. And I have an interpreter, so really most of my day I use sign language and the information is visible.
Beyond the classroom, Heidi has become a strong advocate for the deaf community, organizing events like Silent Coffee Night. These unique social gatherings help build stronger connections between the hearing and deaf communities.
Brings deaf people in our community together. Not only deaf people themselves, but also people who are involved in the deaf community, like interpreters, other people that sign, people that are involved in the community, whether they're deaf or not. People assume all deaf people are alike. They can all lip read, they all wear hearing aids, or they all can sign. It's not true. In the deaf community, we're all very different. I think my message to the community would not to be assume that deaf people want an implant or can sign. We're really diverse, very individual. I teach deaf and hard of hearing children of all ages, kindergarten through 5th grade here at Holt. They come here for support with reading, writing, vocabulary, and some concepts. So I work with them for about an hour, sometimes an hour and a half every day. It's really how to read English and how to sign with the English. It's a lot of work. When I was younger, I didn't know how to stand up and advocate for myself. I advocate for my students any way that I can, whether it's here at school, after school at a sports activity, going to a deaf camp, just providing support in any way that they need. And I can see it here already in 4th grade, how they're learning to advocate for themselves.
Remarkably, while Heidi spends most of her day signing, she returns home to her all-hearing family.
My family is very supportive. They really understand me well, and they're really good about letting me know if I missed something or if I ask what someone said. They're wonderful about taking the time and explaining it to me.
You like the peel?
I have some concerns about my children being frustrated with me because they have to repeat themselves or saying something that I misunderstand, and I don't want them to feel frustrated.
Where's Emma? And who's that? Papa. What's the sign for Papa?
Right now, my daughter knows some sign language. She knows I'm deaf. She behaves different with me than she does with her father. She'll come up, tap my shoulder, and get my attention. She doesn't do that with my husband. And I can see her already starting to make eye contact with me when she talks. She knows if she looks away, I can't understand what she's saying. So I'm hoping that will continue to improve as she gets older. That way we'll have good communication and a great system.
Despite the infection that took away her hearing when she was 5, Heidi has few regrets.
It would be easier to be hearing. But really, I identify as deaf. That's who I am. It's what I do. It's my life.